Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Hello, hi. It's me, Mark, from the internet. How is everybody tonight? This evening? This afternoon? It's kind of evening. It is evening at 7 p.m. here. Michael Connor, I believe you are first. Hello. So I thought I'd play some Returnal because I've been playing this game a fair bit. Finished it the other day. Really enjoying it. And I think kind of the thing I want to do with streams is just when I've been playing a game and I really enjoy it and I want to just show some people of the internet what the game is like. That's the idea of this stream. So we're going to do some Returnal. Wait for a few more people to come in, and so just no spoilers in this video stream. No big spoilers. I'm only going to be showing the first 3 biomes from the game, so you shouldn't see anything that you don't want to see, and it should be a good time. I'll do a run, maybe do some daily challenges and stuff like that. See what happens. So, and I'll pause every now and again to read some comments, some questions. For example, StormCloud20 asks, "How are you, mate?" Pretty good, thank you. Not too bad. So hello from Russia, says Kodak. Hello. So this is Returnal. I need to figure out how to do audio a second because it's a bit loud. Menu. How do I actually change the volume on this? Oh well, I can hear it. It's fine. Though I can't really hear myself talk. I've got a new monitor and I don't really know how to use it. There must be some kind of thing for. You'd think there'd be a volume level. Oh well. Don't worry about that. Anyway, so for anyone who doesn't know what Returnal is, how do I get out of this menu? There we go. For anyone who doesn't know what Returnal is, there is a studio called Housemarque in, I want to say like Finland or Sweden or something, and they made a whole bunch of kind of indie tier arcade games like Nex Machina and Resogun and Super Stardust HD. I think I might be shouting very loudly into this, but never mind. Yes, they made all these sort of arcadey games, and then this is their first like big AAA PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it's weird because it's like it feels a little bit like Metroid Prime in that you're like on this alien planet and you're a female protagonist and you are scanning like alien ruins and stuff, and it's also got like a little bit of Dark Soulsiness to it, but ultimately it's a roguelike and it feels the most like Enter the Gungeon is the game I feel is like it most is. Anyway, let's get going. Let's get some movement. So it's a roguelike, so we're talking randomly generated levels. We're talking permadeath. We always start with this very rubbish gun, but it should be fine. And so it's got some interesting design in it. So one thing is this idea of oh god, it's got this nice dash move. I just remembered how hard it is to play a game while talking. So it's got like an active reload from Gears of War going on, where if you hit the reload in the right time, I don't actually know what it does, to be perfectly honest. You want to dash out of the way, but it's got these really nice big chunky projectiles that you can like dash through and avoid. It's not got any like hit scan enemies. Everything is projectiles. So let's punch that guy. And it's kind of a large part of this game is finding items. This is a locked chest, but this is quite nice. This is a thing to upgrade my weapon proficiency. And so we got our character is Celine here, and you've got these stats that we're sort of upgrading throughout the run, but then they go back at the big back to zero. at the beginning of each run. But like you see there, you've also got a few permanent equipment items. So I think this game has some interesting ideas when it comes to progression in a roguelike. So, every kind of roguelike that's coming out these days has got to make a stand on how much progress is kept from run to run. So you can either go hardly any in something like Spelunky, where it's like pretty much, every run starts from exactly the same position, or you can have a lot of stuff carries over, a lot of permanent progression, which you get in games like Rogue Legacy and Hades and stuff like that. And so I think this game has like an interesting middle ground where you get these permanent upgrades, but they're not like just to give you, they're not just giving you more power, and they're not just making the game easier. They like unlock new areas to explore. But the other thing is you can't like grind for them. They come from beating bosses, from making like progress in the game. You kind of get these upgrades that allow you to, like I say, like explore more areas on your next go around, which makes it a little bit easier because you can find more items, but not in this huge way. But like I say, it's like linked to progression. Hold on, I gotta ban this guy because he's spamming. Go away. Okay, done. This is another interesting mechanic in the game, is this idea of malfunctions, malignancies and malfunctions, where basically this is an item, a key, pretty handy item to be able to unlock a door. There was that chest earlier that I couldn't open, but it has this chance of giving you a malfunction. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so it's giving me this malfunction of my dash cooldown has got a huge cooldown on it now, which is annoying. And so I can now try and cleanse that malfunction by performing 3 melee kills. So it's constantly giving these like choices of, difficult decisions of, should I risk for a reward? But then it like changes the gameplay if you get this sort of bad thing. I'm going to shut up for a bit and just kind of get on. So this grapple hook, this hook shot is very cool. It's very very Zelda-y. Anti-energy pulse. It's okay. Someone asked in the comments about build variety. The answer is no. There's not a huge amount of build variety in this game. The main thing is there are different weapons that you can pick up, and some of them are wacky and weird. I find them actually, most of the weird weapons are really hard to use effectively. I mean, this pistol is rubbish. I want to get rid of it, but I've got to just find a gun. But yeah, it's quite weird because it doesn't change dramatically. The whole game doesn't change dramatically from run to run. Oh, I've got that rubbish. Oh, I've got to get some melee kills because my dash cooldown is well annoying. Ooh. Another interesting system. It's just full of these little tiny kind of like arcadey systems. I mean, obviously the studio has got this arcade backbone, but this interesting system called Adrenaline, where basically every few kills that you get without taking a hit, you build your adrenaline meter, and that gives you various buffs and stuff that you can use. So you just got to try and keep that going. The other thing about build a variety is you want to. There's lots of interesting items you can pick up that like boost your stats in kind of fun ways. There's one I really like called Adrenaline Leech. That is every doing damage to enemies repairs you times your adrenaline level. So if you've got like now I've got adrenaline level 5, I'd get like a huge amount of health back from just hurting enemies. But if you've got no adrenaline, then you get nothing, and it's just it's very overpowered, that one, I think. But anyway. Someone said, this gives me, Kozuda King says this gives me Risk of Rain vibes. That's not actually a roguelike I've ever played. I know of it. There's Risk of Rain and Risk of Rain 2, which then suddenly goes 3D and kind of looks a bit more like this game. Well, this could be a weapon. Oh, see, a thermogenic launcher is like a rocket launcher. And I find it very hard, and it's got really slow reload to hit enemies, so I think I'm just going to leave that. And pop up here. Get some health. Another nice sort of system is if you've got full health and you pick up a health item, it goes towards your maximum health. So it's always worth picking up health. There's also this idea, this is kind of a Dark Soulsy thing, of I think this is either me or it's other players or it's just a thing where this is like deceased scout. Oh, online ID. I guess it's another player. Ever 3455 died yesterday, and I can either like scavenge it for some. Like I'll do that. Scavenge it for like a useful item. A damage siphon. That's kind of like that thing I was talking about. It repairs you as you shoot enemies. It's kind of useful. It's popping. So you've got these different doors on the map. So blue rectangular doors. My logo is over the over the map. But blue rectangular doors are the main path, and the triangular doors are the side path. So I've got 3 keys. I might as well put one in. How did I get so many keys? Two-way radio, personal item. It seems to create a positive relation between ether and protection. So ether is the sort of persistent currency that does go between runs, which So I'm personally not a huge fan of lots of persistent progression in roguelikes because it can feel kind of grindy. But this, I don't think it ever feels that way. Like, it doesn't do enough ether. You don't get enough of it. There's a limit on how much you have. It's not a case of like you're just constantly getting more and more powerful. There's lots of little traps like this. Right, let me just pick up this other bit of ether down here, and then I'll look at some questions. Because I want to... I'm not just yabbering at myself. So, let's have a look. Pizza Gamer says, is there a story to this? Yeah, there is actually. It does have a definitive beginning, middle, and end. There is, an ending you can get to. I think there's a secret ending that I'm kind of, sort of working on. The story kind of unfolds over various runs. Oh, I can go underwater, actually. Forgot about that. What? That's like in the floor. Not sure about that. Don't worry, it's a malignant one anyway. So yes, there is a story, there is an ending. And I thought the story was, I don't know, I sort of didn't really pay much attention to it. It was okay, it's fine. Let's have a look. Is this multiplayer, says Xenonet? Only that the other players can kind of appear in your world. 85% chance to avoid being knocked down by heavy attacks. I don't really find myself getting knocked down that often, so I'm not going to worry about that. So there's you get these little shops, these little terminals. I just love the dash. I love a good dash. It's great. It's great for platforming and traversal. Hopefully this is a good gun. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just another pistol, though the alt fire is a lot better. So you've got this. There's an interesting thing where so you got a fire, and then you've got an alt fire, which in this case like zzz. Now by default, it's got this thing where you have to, if you hold the trigger all the way down. No, if you hold the trigger a little bit down, it's aim your normal weapon, then hold it all the way down as your alt weapon. I found that so hard to use. Just having to like try and just hold the control a little bit. Like, it's got that resistance. It's got the dual sense resistance in it to help you. But it was too. I found it really hard. I mean, I have ridiculous hand crap, a repetitive strain injury. I really wish I had a better gun at this point. But yes, but luckily you can turn that off. I mean, I've seen a few people asking about sort of accessibility stuff. Not the most accessible game. I mean, it's pretty hard at times. There's no easy mode or assist mode or anything. You don't really have much in the way of options for making it less difficult. And the more you play it, it gets, there's a tiny bit easier over time. You'll unlock some like weapon perks. You'll unlock that permanent currency ether. But for the most part, it doesn't get any easier. So, a shame. I'm all for crud accessibility stuff in games. So it's a bit of a shame it doesn't have any. Right, hold on. I'm trying to. So there's a bad guy over there, basically, as in a bad guy. and he's also got a shield. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of the small enemies, and now I can focus on him. So first, he's got that red shield. I think there's a few more enemies, but he's got that red shield, which means I can't shoot him. Like, ow, bugger. I'm going to put on my damage siphon. I can't, but I got to hit him with that to unlock his shield. Oh, I did a lot of damage with that. Oh, no, ow. That's the only thing I don't like about this game is I find the melee, there's something about it, it's like the stickiness of it or something, it just doesn't feel quite right. You really want to go in there and just slam a guy. Oh, a Hollow Seeker, now that's my favourite gun. According to the map, there is another enemy. Oh, there it is. Yeah, what? That was weird. That was a bit of a bug. Did you see that? Yeah, this Hollow Seeker is just like, just churns out bullets and it seeks enemies. It's the weapon I used to complete the game, and it was real good. Anyway, let's look at some questions. So, Game Dev Dave says you can't turn the adapter triggers off. No, you can turn them off. That's a default option. Is that thing you have to sort of, hold it down. So you get these doors, these sort of gates, and somewhere there's a switch. I think it's probably here. So one of the the way it works in terms of the random generation is that it is handmade rooms that are then randomly jotted about. And there's not a huge number of them. And so you see the same rooms over and over again. And also, there's like these key areas that you will see over and over again. They're exactly the same every time. It isn't the most random roguelike there is. And at times it does feel like you're kind of just playing something like Dark Souls, but with no checkpoints. It's kind of weird. So these are these parasites. Again, it's another one of these sort of risk-reward systems. They have a positive and they have a negative. So positive finds salvage from hostiles more often. Negative increases the chance of finding malignant items. I'm going to give that one a miss. I don't want to... So that's a malignant chest. So there's probably something quite good in it. Should we have a look? Ooh, I got lucky. So I didn't get a malfunction. That's kind of cool. It's a grenade launcher, but I'm going to stick with my Hollow Seeker. Anyway, let's look at some questions. Does Returnal do that thing of having many crap weapons and a few good ones? Asks Theo. I would argue that yes. So there's a bunch of very normal weapons. You've got a shotgun, you've got a pistol, you've got an assault rifle. Then there's some kind of very powerful but hard to use ones, like a rocket launcher and a grenade launcher. And then there's like weird weapons, like a one where you shoot these pylons in the ground, it creates electricity and stuff, and one that shoots an acid trail. And they're fun and they're different. They're kind of like Ratchet and Clank weapons and something, but they're really, really hard to use in my opinion. And I found that 90% of the times I've died in this game have been when I've just got a rubbish weapon and I kind of regretted it. So I think my main tip is like figure out what weapon works for you. For me, it's this Hollow Seeker, and just try and find it. And it's like if I haven't got the Hollow Seeker, I can at least have the carbine, because that's just a normal assault rifle. And I sometimes use the shotgun. It's pretty sweet. It's very powerful. It's very fun to like run up to an enemy and put this thing under its chin. But like here, I don't even have to really aim that much. It doesn't do that much damage, this weapon, but it's so easy to use. You just kind of aim it in the general direction of an enemy. Also, what is the... It's got this thing called retarget. Projectiles seek out additional hostiles upon hitting the initial target. That's really cool, because it means you can, if you've got like 3 enemies looking at you, you just shoot one of them and it will shoot all 3 of them. Treelim330 says, any opinion on the lack of save/quit mid-run? Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, the thing is, I'd say probably my biggest criticism of Returnal, and I should state that I really like this game. I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy playing it. I put like 30 hours into it. It's one of my favourite games of the year so far. But there is, I think, a sort of weird flaw with it, which is essentially the optimum way to play this game is to go really slowly through it and try and find every single item and really scour every room and go in every room before you like face the boss and go to the next biome. And it really brings the game to a bit of a crawl at times. And you know, my successful run of this game took like 3 hours to do, and it was getting pretty exhausting towards the end. And then not having a save really exasperates that. So this is a Hollow Seeker times 2, which is like slightly more powerful, but it doesn't have that retarget, which is so good. This is this acid shooting gun, and you like do this, and then it shoots like this acid, and then it eats away at the enemy. I find it too hard to use. That's the shotgun. So let's go get my Hollow Seeker with retarget and get back to it. Do you have anything to say about the sound design and music? Only that the music really reminds me of Lara Croft Go, randomly. It's nice. The sound design is good. I actually had this bug. It's quite buggy, this game at the moment, I have to say. And I've had a hard crash, you know, which is again really annoying when you can't save mid-run. And I had a bug where the audio completely cut out, and so I had to play a lot with no audio whatsoever. And it kind of highlighted how useful the audio is. There's lots of little sound effects and stuff that kind of key you in to important stuff. For example, your alt fire recharging, it plays this little sound effect. It's really handy to know. And up we go. But some health down there. I can actually hear my pew pew. That's the sound effect. I don't know if you heard it. Right, so we get the map up. So it's got a cool sort of Metroid Prime map. So the yellow door is like a very difficult room, an optional room. The one with a circle over it is like to the next biome. So I could go immediately to the next area, but not going to. And let's have a look. So this is kind of where the story happens, basically. You'll come through here and there's this house, and every now and again you can go in it and it will kind of advance the story. Yeah. I don't want to get into too much of the story just because it's spoilerific. So this is the Fabricator, which is just a shop, essentially. Gaining or fixing malfunctions increases max integrity. So this is quite an interesting kind of... There's not a lot of synergies in this game, which is a shame. That's something you get really cool in roguelikes. But this is something that's pretty sweet, which is this idea of, you know, malfunctions are generally pretty horrible. You don't want them, but this could be kind of interesting. It would give me more health. Integrity is health. So I might save up for that. So how much was that? That was 275. That's quite a bit of money, but I think it'd be kind of a fun one to use. These are also part of the story, these sort of things. Do you get to keep? So Matthias says, do you get to keep anything when you finish a run? So there's basically a few things. So number one is this currency called Ether, which is a permanent currency and has a few uses. There is your guns have these like perks like retarget that can be upgraded over time, so that makes them a little bit more powerful. You can find new items that are then like added to the random pool of items you might find. And then the big one is things like these permanent upgrades, like the grapple hook I've been using. So you might beat a boss, get a grapple hook, and now when you come back in, you can grapple around. And so for the most part, these big important upgrades are tied to like making progression of actually beating bosses and stuff. So it doesn't have that kind of grind of just you do 100 runs and now you're a little bit stronger. Like, you've got to actually be good at the game. But I found it actually very satisfying because beating a boss actually felt like an important thing, as satisfying as like beating a Dark Souls boss, because it meant I now had this, you know, item that I'd be able to use. These guys are jerks. So they have this like stagger meter. Whoa. Where it's like under their health bar, they've got another health bar, and that sort of causes them to stagger. Okay, so we got that was good. That was my ult fire then, just completely churned him out. And so look, now because I can shoot this guy, and it's like dealing damage to this dude as well. These, I find these are annoying. Oh jeez. Ah! Die. There we go. Okay, I could do with a bit of health, to be honest. There's quite a lot of health in this arena. So this is another of these scouts. I'm not too worried about that right now. Is there a random spam in the chat? I don't know. Thomas Greydox, no, Thomas Gamedox says, this game looks very grey. This environment, this is the first biome in the game, is a little bit sort of desaturated. So these green things are obviously health. But the other biomes look very different. Hopefully I'll get to one of those on this run. So like that was my grapple hook, which is one of these permanent upgrades you don't start the game with. But yeah, anyway, as like a person who isn't a huge fan of permanent upgrades and roguelikes, I felt like this game struck a really good balance between like not feeling like you're just kind of grinding, but also feeling like you're making progress and stuff like that. Oh god, okay, this is like a particularly bad guy who might possibly kill me. I'm not doing a lot of damage to him. I might leave this room because I'm not doing very much damage. I think I'm gonna get out of there. I could see that going very wrong. Those have often killed me, so I kind of feel like the best move there was just to get out. This is a parasite that auto repairs while at low integrity, reduces protection by 10%. That's not good. Protection is defense. So these, okay, so this is quite an interesting thing. This is basically it's called a reconstruct, and this is basically a checkpoint, a save room. In that, if I die, I'd come back here, and this costs ether, which is the permanent currency. So you kind of have to really be like, okay, this is going to be a run, because that's 6 ethers, quite a lot. But it's it's one of those ones where like, right, I feel like this is quite a good run. I'm gonna bank this one. I'm gonna give myself an extra chance. There are other ways as well to come back to life if you die, which is quite nice. Good evening, folks. What is the game's name? Says Cynical Anon. It's Returnal. It's this is a new PS5 game from Housemarque, who is a studio. Okay, so that green thing is a healing totem that's healing people, so I need to really get rid of that. Though I think it's only healing these turrets, it's not a huge deal. Yeah, kind of weird. Oh. God damn it. Oh no, there's these guys as well. These tree guys, these Groot guys, they're one annoying. That ult fire did a lot of damage and it stunned him. I do like the active reload. I don't think it actually like boosts your damage. I think it just means you can reload immediately. It kind of gives you a quick reload more than like giving you any extra power with it. So the enemies are dropping currency, which encourages you to kind of get up to enemies after you kill them, rather than just shooting everybody from afar, which is quite a nice sort of idea. Mark Brown is you? Yes, Mark Brown is me. Hello. William David says, "Hey Mark, what do you think makes a good dash? Long or short? Also the cooldown." I mean, so the more it dashes you, because like the thing about a dash that's interesting is that it's like taking control away for a second. It's like giving you this big amount of. I've never actually seen this room before, which is kind of weirding me out. I was saying before how there's not very many rooms in the random generation. So a dash is like a huge amount of like additional movement, but at the risk of you don't really have a huge amount of control. You can cancel that dash quite nicely, but it's you know, the more kind of crazy it is, the more kind of risk you're putting yourself in. And then a cooldown. This has got, I think this has probably got quite the perfect cooldown actually. It's just enough so you can't like spam it. You can't ever use it twice in midair, I don't think, outside of very rare circumstances. Enough to not be able to spam it, but quick enough that you can rely on it in a pinch. Okay. Oh. Eat my gun. Nope, already dead. Kill that one. I think the combat is really fun. It's very... Whoa, that's a bad guy. Not anymore. Ow. I've got paying attention. I've got nothing to say. I'm trying to not die. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, like, this is the first area in the game, and I've finished the game, and so this is kind of like the mines and Spelunky. You know, I'm not too stressed. But you know, you can be overrun in a few seconds, and I haven't got an enormous health bar. There we go. Okay. Another key, and so you kind of have this like nice little loop of you kill all the enemies, and now you just kind of walk around and pick up items for a while. So this is kind of a crazy weapon, this electro pylon driver, where you can be like zap, 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 and it's like making this, and then if an enemy is in there, it's like, but I don't know. I kind of wish there was a bit more to encourage me to use these weapons, because they seem really cool, and I wish I was kind of pushed, but it's just too risky to like have this crazy weapon. This is kind of funny, like that's like me, that's like one of my dead bodies. I don't think they're actually where I died in the game, it's just, they're just kind of flavor, but it's just kind of cute that it's like little corpses everywhere. That's kind of cute, corpses. Which Spelunky do you like the most, asks Xavier. I don't know, I mean, they're both so good, and you know, one is one of my favourite games of all time, but 2 is just like such a great sequel. This is another sort of story type moment. We're getting like a bit of environmental storytelling and stuff. So, you know, I'm not a huge story guy in games, but there's enough there to find it interesting. I've got enough money actually for that thing. You know what? Here's an idea. Let's put a pin in this room for a second and go over here. To the people who are... oh, thank you. Oh, I'm going to mess up that name. I don't know if it's Sean or Cian. John Dow says, I've loved GMTK and I've really enjoyed On The Level and excited to see more of it. Do you stream often? This is my first time catching GMTK live. I don't stream very often because I'm not very good at it. But the idea for me now is like, if I play a game like this I'm really into and I want to share it and talk to you guys about it, I can just boot up a stream, have a little chat, see who's online, and have a go. Thanks for watching On The Level. It's a really it's going to be an interesting series. I've enjoyed doing the first episode with Chris. Got a second episode. It's kind of negotiations are happening. It's kind of one of those funny video series. So this is this thing I want: integrity circuit. Gaining or fixing malfunctions increases max integrity. You know, every GMTK episode I can just kind of make whenever I want, but On The Level I've got to wait for people to email me and stuff, so it might take a bit longer than I would hope. So basically the reason I did that, where am I, is because there was that figure out how to solve this, because it's a bit of a tedium. Okay, I think I've fixed that slightly crappy mic. And then put this back on. And does that work? Hold on, just gotta wait for my mic to work. Oh, there we go. I don't really know what the deal is with that. Sometimes, I think it's this Elgato. I might have to start using OBS because it's just this Elgato thing where it'll just suddenly stop my mic from working. And then I'll look at the chat. So anyway, what was I talking about? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Missed like 3 minutes of talking. I'm so sorry. I should pay more attention to the chat. I said just an annoying thing. Right, so let's go to the right. I think what I was talking about, did you guys hear me talk about the Spelunky Ghost? I don't know. I think what I'll do, so next time it breaks, if you're in the GMTK Discord for patrons, send me like an @ so it makes my computer go bidink, because otherwise I'll miss it. You guys can be my moderators. Okay, this is kind of a bad room, to be honest. There's some real baddies in here. Let's get a kinetic field going. Kind of chewed that guy up a bit. Okay. That guy's dead. And where's the other tree? Kill this guy. Okay. Oh, that was a bit of a tricky level, and this is like the first biome, and it can get kind of hard. And so pick up some items. So people are asking what this game is. Is it not in the title? It should be, the title of the stream should be GMTK Live Returnal, unless people think that I'm like returnaled to streaming. I don't know. This is another weapon. It's the Deadbound, which is the bullets literally come back to you. So if you're really close to something, they're just constantly coming back. But if you fire it far away, you got to wait for them to return. Kind of a cool. You got to wait for them to returnal. Kind of a cool weapon. Let's use my key to get in here. Per Mortensen says the compression really doesn't love the effects going on in this game. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a particularly great internet, so I'm running. This is like a 720p, 30 frames per second. Oh, geez, stream. So, yeah, it's not gonna like. YouTube is compressor stuff at the best of times, but this is not the best of times, this is the worst of times. Oh god, he's come into a different room now. This wasn't the room I was fighting him in. Die, foul beast. Okay. I don't like those tree guys. They are not my friends. Here's a... Maybe I should use a different gun just for the stream. Just for the stream of it. Because I'm feeling a bit boring just using this Hollow Seeker, but it will lead me to victory. Kill this guy. Kill this guy. Kill this guy. So it doesn't do a huge amount of damage. It's really about the sort of crowd controlness of it and stuff. So there should be an item, a chest. Oh, sometimes the map is kind of weird because it's like 3D. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't even see the map because it's the GMTK logo is there. What the hell is that? Oh god. Oops. Nice big chunky projectiles to phase through. Damage that one. Let's get some questions. Use the smoke gun. What's the smoke gun? Don't know what that is. Is there a Discord link? Says Derpiest Dude. Whoa. So the Discord is for GMTK patrons. I'm kind of confused where I am in this room. But it will open to the public on the 1st of June for the Game Jam. Which begins on June 11th if you haven't signed up for the Game Jam. Oh my god, look, there's a lot of enemies. Hold on. There's a lot of enemies. There's more trees. Why are you screwing me over, Returnal? Ah, no. Okay, I'm chucking on it. Oh, jeez. Hold on, there's a lot happening. I'm getting absolutely rampaged. Okay, we're going to need to get the lead out. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get some health. Get an anti-energy pulse. I've fallen and I can't get up. Sometimes the arenas can be quite tricky for that. Oh my god. Go away. There's so many enemies. Ah! There's a strong possibility I'm gonna die. Okay, my alt fire has recharged, so let me just find a good place to use it. Oh, that was a good place to use it. I'm just gonna keep on the run. I've got the runs. Kill this guy. Oh my goodness. There's a tree behind me. There's a tree behind me. There's a tree behind me. I'm in a forest because there's a tree behind me. Okay, kill this guy. Kill that guy. Oh, I think I did it. Jesus, that was tense. There was a lot going on there. There's a lot going on. Okay. I'm a bit low on the old health. So just I have a question. Is the title of this stream GMTK Live Returnal? Because there's a lot of people asking what this game is, and I thought it was kind of answered, but maybe it's either there's a bug or it's just not obvious what that means. Let me know. Thank you, CD Levo, for the super chat. I hope I didn't miss any super chats. Can I see them? I didn't. Okay, cool. I'm really curious where your game design experience comes from, says C3PO. Just playing games, really. You know, what do I like? What works for me? What do I think leads to good game design? But also reading interviews, watching talks, interviewing developers myself has been a really cool thing with GMTK. Is I now get to talk to loads of developers and just be like, hey, how'd you make that game? Ow. This is like a thing where I can shoot bullets through it and it makes them more powerful. But until I stab that guy. So now let's do that. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, that's kind of useful. Yeah, that kind of puts me at a disadvantage because I'm very stuck. Yeah, so just I'm not a game designer. I don't have any actual experience in the field. But just talking to people. Let's go for a shotgun for a while. Because I'll tell you what's been happening. I've got a very underpowered gun that's been the Hollow Seeker. Oh, my melee cooldown, because I've never picked up any artifacts. I've never found any. They're quite rare artifacts. They're quite significant changes to your character stats. What's that all about? Let's pop up here for a while. Rakshith says, which upcoming game are you interested in? I guess the next kind of thing I'm looking forward to is Ratchet & Clank. That looks really cool. I'm really loving the PS5. It's just sort of really, there's a lot of good stuff on it, and I love the controller, and it's just a nice system to use, and so I'll take anything really on PS5. Okay, this is kind of a crazy thing, where you have these like parasites everywhere. So Fixes or prevents one malfunction, attaches afterwards. So I can just use that to get rid of that malfunction. Heal myself. Oh no, yeah. Suffer damage when using keys. That's not too bad. Discounts one item by 30%, detaches afterwards. Eats away a large amount of proficiency on detached. Don't want that. Proficiency is like your weapons upgrades, like what the power of upcoming weapons will be. 50% chance to find better salvage from hostiles. One additional kill. Nah. That. That's a concept. Is this my game? No, I didn't not make this game. This is a PlayStation 5 game. 25% chance to not lose a consumable on use. Alt fire cooldown increased by 5%. That's a lot of percents. Let's do that. So that will heal me, but give me a malfunction. But because I've got that thing that makes my malfunctions give me additional health. Melee cooldown, kill hostiles. So that's kind of a funny one. Kill hostiles. Like I'm gonna do that. That's like literally what the whole game is about. Derpiest Dude says, is all of GMTK's income from YouTube? No, very little of GMTK's income is from YouTube. Most of it's from Patreon, my wonderful, wonderful crowdfunding backers whom I love and have basically given me the best job in the world. Then YouTube, then a bit of like Epic Gamer Store and stuff like that. I need to diversify my... I need to kind of go... This has been a very large biome. Oh, there. Oh, so you can't have 3 malfunctions. A third malfunction gives you a critical malfunction, which is just like a bad thing. But this is fabricate items, so if I buy this thing that increases my repair efficiency, that will get rid of that malfunction. And now I can go and open that chest up there, which gives me... That's just an item. Aviv Yuka says, did you already pick the theme for the upcoming game jam? Yes, I settled on the final theme a couple days ago. Let's go to the boss. Let's go do the boss. Settled on the theme a couple days ago. Happy with it. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really cool. Yeah, excited to see what people do. Should we do the boss? Or is it a bit more... You know what? I think the boss is going to sound like a bit of a cop-out. But I feel like bosses are a little bit spoilery. So I think the better thing to do is skip the boss. This is a nice thing. Once you beat a boss, you never have to fight it again if you don't want to. You can just skip it and go to the next biome. I'm going to go to the next biome. Not because I'm like scared I'm going to die, though there is a very good chance I would die. And that would be embarrassing. But because otherwise I'd die and I'd have to do this whole biome again. And I'd rather show you something a bit different on the screen because we've been looking at this grey-green world for like... I don't know what the time is. I don't know, sometime now. And so, what's this? Oh, I think some enemies are about to appear. Yes. That's actually not a great gun. The shotgun was not great for this right now, so I'm just going to borrow this for a second. This is not great either. This is just kind of a basic assault rifle, and it's pretty good. Don't know what that was, but we're going to stick with a shotgun. And let's go to the next biome. So there's 2 biome entrances, and I don't know which one's which. We'll have to find out. Kyle Bailey says, do you have a podcast? Your voice is one of the reasons I constantly rewatch your videos. Well, thank you. No podcast, I'm afraid. I've got enough on my hands with just videos. I'm getting slow at making the videos at the moment, so can't do anything else. Right. So this is... Yes, this is the second biome. So if you're worried about spoilers, now would be the time to leave. Speedrunning Saga says, my instinct is to dislike you can skip the bosses. Only if you beat them once, right? It's not, you can't skip it ever. You've got to fight it, but it's once you've killed it, now you don't have to fight the boss every time you do a run. So this is the second biome, and it's the desert, and I think it's a very cool one. It looks sweet. This is very much one of these things where this like area here, like coming up this thing, this staircase that goes up here, open the door onto the Crimson Wastes, is the same every single time, which is not completely out of the question for roguelikes, but it just feels kind of weird, and it gives it that feeling of like I'm just kind of playing a normal game, but if I die I've got to go right back to the very beginning, whereas a roguelike normally is more sort of random. Anyway, so fabrication costs reduce, increase the chance of finding malignant items. Well, we quite like malignant items now because they boost my max health. Increases proficiency rate, upgrading malfunctions and more severe effects. Not so good, because I want malfunctions, but I don't want severe ones. I've got to get rid of this melee cooldown, actually, it's annoying me. So this is kind of a bonkers area. It's very open, you know, very different. This is not, a shotgun is actually not a great weapon for this very open environment. Especially with flying enemies like this. Yeah, I'm not doing a huge amount of damage because they're so far away. The spread on my shots. Ouch. But that's quite good. That's some ether. Right. Ooh, that's a bad guy. So, if I get pretty close to him... There we go, that shotgun made light work of him. He's a hard enemy. But there's ones that are far away. So you can only carry one weapon at once is an important thing to add. So you can't like go, right, I switched to my sniper rifle for that guy and switch to my shotgun. You gotta just kind of commit, which is one of those reasons why I don't like playing with the crazy weapons, because... Oh, they might rush. Oh, Sniffler says, thanks to the epic jam, looking forward, epic content, looking forward to the GMTK game jam. Me too. It's always a fun time. Kind of gives me a bit of a month off, to be honest, as well. Everyone else is busy making games, I can do some other stuff. This is a weird room. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. I've got no dash, so I can't. So it's like 3 of them at a time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get that key, and now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ow. Got hit. Oh, no, got hit again. Didn't realise there was a wall there. Okay, let's get some health. That was dumb. Lime Leaves says, is there adaptive music? Don't think so. I think the soundtrack is... I mean, it does the pretty typical thing of music. It's very calm and relaxing now because I'm looking for items. When there's enemies, there's a more pumping soundtrack. That's kind of the sort of typical thing that most games do. How do I make my videos? I come up with an idea. I go, I should make a video about user interfaces. Then I do a buttload of research, just try and... that's interesting. Research as much stuff as humanly possible. Write the damn thing, record my voice, edit it all together. I mean, I have lots of techniques and stuff that I've built up over time, but that's kind of the main bit. It's pretty standard. Right, let's open this Aphex Sphere. I'm kind of looking for the button for this door down here. There's a gate. Oh, there it is. This is my shotgun, but a bit less bonus damage, but it's got I don't know. It's got a grenade launcher, which is pretty sweet. Bastian Inuk says, have you just considered doing more technical stuff? I don't know what you mean. I mean, I've done some stuff like the video on... Where am I? The video on the Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor. It's a lot about how it's designed, but also about kind of how it's put together. But I don't want to get too into the weeds in terms of like programming and stuff, because most people who watch my show have no interest or experience doing that. Okay. This is a spaceship model. Seems to have a positive effect on dash. So I think this kind of gives me a bigger dash. Maybe a dash I can dash through enemies? I'm not 100% sure. I like it though. What's this game? Asks Mona. It's Returnal. It's called it's Returnal. So, I mean, there weren't okay. When I first introduced the game, there was about 5 people in the stream, and now we've got like 800. So let me introduce this game again. There's a studio in a video game developer in I think Finland, somewhere like that, maybe the Netherlands, called Housemarque, and they made games, a lot of kind of small indie-ish tier arcade games like Resogun and Super Stardust HD and Nex Machina and Matterfall, and they kind of came to the realization that those games just don't really sell anymore. And so they took some time and they've made this a big stonking blockbuster PS5 exclusive made with Sony called Returnal. Some of the vibes I get from this game are, number one, Metroid Prime, just in that you have, you know, a female protagonist, you're in space, you're looking at like alien artifacts, all that sort of stuff. A little bit Dark Soulsy, I know it's a cliche, but you know, it's hard. It's got boss fights that are, you know, tricky and all that sort of stuff. You kind of want to find items because they'll actually be genuinely useful. A little bit of Recall, which is a game I actually quite liked. Recall, but ultimately, it's a roguelike. It is the game it is most like in terms of mechanics is Enter the Gungeon. Of all the roguelikes, it reminds me most of Enter the Gungeon, that you can, these massive projectiles that you have to dash through. Oh crap. The teleporters, the focus on interesting weapons. It's very Enter the Gungeon. It's quite bizarre, really, to me. There we go. So this shotgun's pretty sweet, right? This is heal me, give me a malfunction, but also boost my max health. Hostiles leave behind acid pools. That is an annoying one. I often walk into those bags, but all I've got to do is open a container, and there's like 2 in this area, so that's absolutely fine. It's a Spelunky-like. I mean, there's a bit of Spelunky. I mean, the shortcuts have a bit of a Spelunky feel to them. They're not really shortcuts, but you can kind of skip through biomes, which is nice to be able to like kind of rush through the game. But ultimately, like Spelunky, you realise that that's not the best way to play. The best way to play is to take each biome as you go. Okay, let's open this. This will fix that malfunction, but give me a new malfunction. Do I have any parasites? I've got 1. Fabrication cost reduced. No, it's fine. I'm not worried about that. Off we go. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Asks Nico. No, I don't. I've never played it. It seems cool, but I don't know where I would find people to play Dungeons and Dragons with me. Someone on my Discord, Amanuta, says Housemarque is Finnish. Okay, cool. I've always enjoyed the studio. I mean, I haven't loved their games, but I really did like Super Stardust HD. It was one of those early PlayStation 3. I never really got into Resogun, which I think was like an early PS4 game. These guys, they're always at the start of a PlayStation launch. Right, so there's a secret room behind me. Yeesh, this is quite a big area. It's quite hard to explore. Sheras says, are there any indie games you'd like to recommend? Well, I do my indie recommendations at the end of every episode. So the last one was Dorf Romantic. And so the funny thing is, who's texting me? I'm making the new episode and recorded my voice, but I got to the end and realised I haven't got any indie recommendations, so I'm going to have to record. OBS, because this is you know, a ball ache. It's a bum hole. I don't want that to happen. Right, let's keep on going. Oh, my mic is going crap. Okay, hold on. Let's go to internal microphone for a while. Make sure that works. Okay. I'm just going to say, well, I have to like listen to the YouTube thing that's on this huge delay. Internal microphone. Okay, now let's go back to my good microphone. And see what happens. Just going to sit around and wait for the YouTube to catch up because it's on this huge delay. Give me a second. Or literally just got to sit here. There we go. Okay, I'm good. Hopefully that'll fix for a while. Let's keep going. Anyway, what's going on in the chat? So, there's a lot of enemies. Let's try and read the chat as I was going. There's a lot of bullets. Kind of hidden myself. Oh, missed my grenade. See, the shotgun is so rubbish from a distance. Now I'm doing nothing. Doing now. Oh, I got hit. But I got it. It's fine. I'm going to take care of that. And where's this guy? 2 hit Charlie. Okay. Hit this with a stick. I had to beat an old lady with a stick. So don't worry about that. It's useless. I just need to start using some of these items. Lime Leaves says, have you ever made your own game? I'm working on it. I'm working on something. It's been one of my goals for the year, was to learn Unity. And I've learned a lot. So this is a thing where... What is this? This is... Right, so this thing eats a lot of my health, but it gives me a cool item. So... A lot of health gone, but I've got Wound Seekers. Deal 30% more damage to low health targets. Generally brilliant. And now I can use this to heal myself, and we're all good. We're good to go. Game Dev Dave says, Mark, do you consider yourself a game analyst? I guess so, yeah. I mean, I analyze video games for a living. I'm also a bit of a critic. I'm a consultant. I've done video game consultancies for some studios, which is really cool. This is a big guy. I'm going to shoot him with a grenade. Ow. I've actually got like a terrible weapon for this. He's getting real close there. Okay, I'm actually like kicking ass and taking names. Oh, it's a Hollow Seeker, guys. It's a Hollow Seeker. I gotta use it. I'm sorry. It's so good. Brrr. Look, I just chewed through that guy like he was a piece of meat. Like he was a tender leg of lamb. So good. I don't even know what this one's got on it. It's got retarget, oh, my favourite, and serrated projectiles. Which means when I do damage to enemies, they continue to do damage. Look, his health is just going down. They just died! Okay, we're going to beat this game, guys. Unfortunately, no, I don't want to spoil anything. There's some really cool stuff in this game that is both cool, a little bit disappointing, but very cool. I don't want to spoil. I think you should play this game. I think it's great. If you're one of like the 6 people in the world who can find a PlayStation 5. Don't know why it gives you the pistol. Like, they got this thing, and off we go. just chewing through enemies, and now I'm chewing through multiple enemies. I'm just aiming in the general direction of foes and killing them. It's great. Okay, kinetic fields. Oh no, I can pick this up, can't I? Yeah. So this is a thing that would allow me to go straight to the boss fight. So again, shortcuts. And over here. And so like this room up here has got like a health thing and some money. And normally I wouldn't be able to get up here because, you know, when you first play through the game, you can't get up here because I can't jump up there. But then you unlock the grapple hook and now you can. So, you know, it gives you this like little extra leg up as you make significant progression. Mythos says the difficulty curve kind of turned into a vertical line later. I've seen. There is a sense of that. Yes, I would agree with that. There are some very, very hard bits in the game. Right, don't worry about that. I need to open containers because my alt fire cooldown has gone up by 10 seconds, which is enormous. So we'll open this. Slows down time when aiming with alt fire. Sweet. Low integrity, minus 30 weapon damage. Okay, I've got to try and get rid of these things. Have you ever considered doing your streams on Twitch? Yeah, I have done in the past. I just can't be bothered to like set up another thing. Like I've got a lot of people. I've got a big subscriber base on YouTube who are ready to watch. Maybe I'll do Twitch one day. I know you can do it on like 2 at once, but I ain't got time for that. Right, let's get rid of that malfunction. I'm a bit worried about this guy. Get rid of these turrets. Get rid of that. Get rid of that turret. So who are we dealing with? This guy up here. I didn't quite know what that was going to do. It turns out it murdered him. Sweet. Let's see who this person is. So this is like another player who is dealing with some enemies, fallen over and died, and I can avenge them, which gives me an enemy to fight. I guess this is the enemy that killed them. Right, we've got this crazy boom stick of a weapon. No problemo, no problemo. No problemo. Okay. Nullification sphere fixes all malfunctions. Okay, I'll have that. Get rid of that. No, actually use that. What happened? Use that. Pick up that. Oh, guys. Yeah, it's not as good though. It's not as good, isn't it? The cool thing. Okay, over to here. This is Malignant Silphium. Okay, full health. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's have a look at some questions. Hey Mark, any thoughts on building a following for a game? I mean, you gotta start relatively early. This is a thing I think a lot of indie devs make a mistake of. Is like they finish their game and they're like, right, now let's start marketing. And it's like, no. You gotta start a bit earlier. You gotta build like a, you gotta get the Twitter followers and all that sort of stuff. Your game's gotta kind of have something special and different about it. You think of something like Untitled Goose Game, which got like a huge following. It was different. It was interesting. It was unique. It was unlike other games. If you're just like, hey, you should you should be interested in my game. It's a platformer featuring a plumber. It's like it's been done, mate. Right, let's open this. And now open this one. Right. It wasn't really useful. Cannot pick up new weapons. Not too bothered about that. Got a sweet gun. Let's have a look at the chat. Sahan says, "Hey Mark, I'm really enjoying watching your stream. Thank you." Turbo Ving, he says, "Is the ammo unlimited?" Yes. So you've got unlimited ammo. You've got this ammo counter here, which when that runs out, you now have to wait for it to recharge. But you've got that active reload as well. So cool. True Hexproof says, "I've seen next to no guides to making cutscenes in games. You could cover that sometime." It's a bit outside my wheelhouse, but it's an interesting thought. Do you mean like programming them or like making them cinematic? Yeah, a bit outside what I do personally, but never say never. Okay. Oh, wow! I am a bit overpowered, to be honest. I think it's my gun. Like I'm just. Like, that was kind of... Like, that's supposed to be a bad guy, but I just completely... I mean, I took quite a bit of damage there. I wasn't really paying attention. Paper Martin says, "Mark, will you be an up gamer this year?" I don't know what that is, but it sounds like... will you be an up dog? I really don't want to get rid of this gun. I'll take on the boss of this area, because... Oh, okay, let's go. Okay. Kill hostiles. So this is a thing that gives you a random item for an increasing amount of money. Attaching or attaching parasites repairs integrity. Pretty sweet. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There's a lot going on. Oh my god, I'm not getting malfunctions, which is kind of good. Belwa says, "Any videos you've been looking forward to making but haven't had the chance yet?" Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things where I kind of put them off for ages because they take a long time to make, right? You know, like the Mass Effect video I made, took a long time. I don't want to give away too many things, but there are definitely loads of videos that I just needed to kind of take like a month to make them. Even though videos are taking a long time at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't seem to get a video out more than once a month. I'm becoming a bit of a laissez-faire attitude this game now. I'm just feeling a bit overpowered. Which comes from, I think... Okay, so let's, real talk. Let's get design talky in here. The reason I'm overpowered is that I'm just picking up so many upgrades and items and health and all that sort of stuff, because there's nothing stopping me from just picking up every single thing and going in every single door, other than, like, boredom. And so I think, I don't know if you heard this or my mic cut off, but there was this idea of, in normal roguelikes like Spelunky, there's the ghost. So it's this unstoppable beast that appears if you stay in a level for like more than 2 minutes. This ghost appears, and so you kind of can't stick around and pick up every single piece of gold and every single item and bomb every single thing. You've got to like get the lead out a bit and move on. And so there we go. Dropped Uberlights. No. And so yeah, not having any kind of pressure. It doesn't have to be time pressure. So I tweeted about this once, and people were like, "I don't like time pressure in games," and that's fair enough. I find it quite annoying too. It only works in very certain circumstances. And so yeah, I'm not saying you have to have a thing where the game is gonna, kill you if you're in a game for too many minutes. But it could be something where you get rewarded if you move through the game more quickly, or you could only you could only open so many doors, like have every door locked and you have a certain number of keys. Tell me this isn't adrenaline leech. Adrenaline stimulants gain +5 weapon damage. I'm gonna be so powerful. Jeez. The theme. Someone's asked about the theme of the game jam. Nobody knows the theme of the game jam apart from me and my fiance, but that's just because she helps me. I find she's generally very good. My fiance, she plays games, but not an enormous gamer or anything. Doesn't do game jams. I will tell her my game jam theme idea, and she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. That's way too complicated." And she helps me workshop a more sort of approachable and versatile version of it. These guys are... Oh, I missed him. They can be quite annoying. Should we open this? Yeah. Grants plus 5% weapon damage for every 200 obolites carried. Okay, let's find some obolites. Obolites are the currency. Everything has stupid names. let's be honest. So instead of health, it's integrity, and instead of currency, it's obolites, and instead of like weapon upgrade, it's weapon proficiency, and instead of defense, it's protection. Literally every single thing in this game has to have a dumb name, and it's fine. I'm not like too bothered about that, but let's get rid of that. It does mean that it's a little bit harder to learn this game because you're just like, what does everything do? Whereas if it just said, okay, this improves your health, you're like, right, health, got it. You get it immediately. This one you have to like learn things. A bit annoying. Rohit says it has a max limit for suit artifacts and max integrity. I always max out by the third biome. I'm not able to pick up new items. Yes, I have maxed out my health actually at 300%, but even that is not enough because you're way too overpowered if you've got 300 health, 300% health, I should say. Right. Eric Song says, just want to say thank you for such inspirational videos. Thank you very much for watching them, Eric. It's just fun to make them. So like I've got money, and I kind of don't want to spend it because I've got that thing that boosts my weapon damage. So let's just keep hold of it, because if I get 200 ammo, that gives me some extra weapon damage. Let's go into this room. Oh, I don't really have enough health for it, but this could kill me, and I've been doing this stream for a while now, so it'd be kind of fun to go out on a high. This is essentially that guy totally juked that. Essentially a sort of, I don't know, like an enemy rush room with just lots of really hard enemies. But I'm not too worried. I mean, part of it is I'm overpowered, part of it is that I've played this game a fair amount and I'm pretty good at it now. Let's get some health. So I've kind of learned a lot of the sort of patterns and things like that. I know where all the weak spots are. I know how to avoid that. Okay. Final wave. All these guys are kind of... That did not do as much damage as I thought it would. That's bad, that's bad. Not crazy about the ult fire on this gun. It's a little bit rubbish. Oh, okay. Turns out you can't really... There you go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's try a different weapon just because I'm kind of kicking ass too much, and it's just, you know, as old Donnie Trump says, you can get tired of winning. Not that he listened to that advice because he lost significantly. Let's not get into politics. Ow, I hurt myself. And got back all my health. And what's this? Oh, this is so powerful, this thing. This repairs integrity by 5% of damage dealt per adrenaline level. You just never run out of health. It's amazing. So what's this gun? No, that's too crazy. Oops. Okay. Use consumables. We can do that. So I didn't die. Let me answer some questions. So many missed obolites. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't need them too much. I mean, obviously I've got a thing that boosts my gun, but I could spend so long getting every single obolite. It's just not worth it. And also, like, I'm trying to make the run a little bit faster just for the stream. You don't want to sit and watch me play this for like 7 hours, do you? Dreadbound is the strongest weapon, says Apocryphy. Haven't used it too much just because it's a bit tricky to use. I could do with a teleporter. I've got no teleporter. I'm going to have to just walk back through all these rooms. I could pick up some of those obolites I missed. Or there's a health thing up there. So that is I don't really like that. Oh, I think there's like a... Yeah. Don't worry about that. I haven't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. But there's nothing stopping me, really. Derpiest Dude says, not a face reveal, he's shown his face before. I've shown my face so many times, I've done loads of streams. There's the most recent video on the channel has a little bit of me at the beginning where I'm like, hello, I'm Mark Brown. When I'm talking to Chris from Dingy Dongs, what's it called? Moon Studios. I think every gun is powerful, you just need the upgrades. Yeah, so I haven't got a lot of upgrades for this gun, and I guess that's kind of a thing actually, which is that the guns I use all the time are the ones that, like the Hollow Seeker, are the ones I've upgraded loads, so they're even more powerful, and so there's even less reason for me to use the ouch, the Deadbound. Okay. What's that? That's... Okay, this is kind of a shop. Now, obviously, I don't really want to spend my stuff. Adrenaline Fury. Max Adrenaline gain 100% melee damage and 50% melee cooldown. That's kind of cool. I've never really used that. I had it once. It kind of turns you into a melee monster. This gives you more power. I think I'm going to... What's this one? This is... Increases max integrity. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't really worry about the giving myself more weapon damage through ammo. I've got enough. Right, hold on. Not sure about this Deadbound thing, Dreadbound. I think it's always worth it. No, it's not. Okay, energy barricade. Oh, let's just use... Oops. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, and now let's get in here. Well, I think this one takes me up the mountain. Elliot says this game needs a recycle system where you recycle stuff you aren't going to use for currency. Yeah, that could work. That could be an interesting thing. Ghoul says, love your designing for this. Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh crap. Oh no, this is bad. I've got to wait for my bullets to come back so far. Oh, I don't like this Dreadbound. Look, they've gone away. They've gone away. I've got no bullets. You've got to be very accurate. I'm not a very accurate player. Okay. I have regrets. I have regrets about the Dreadbound. See, there's a question. Look, someone said in the chat, XA says, what does integrity do in this game? Integrity is health. If they just called it health. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. I am really not a fan of this weapon. Just because I'm not a very accurate shot. And like that, you know, the Hollow Seeker and the shotgun allow me to just kind of aim in a sort of postcode that an enemy lives in a zip code, and they'll die. Whereas this, I gotta aim, otherwise I ain't got any bullets. Bye, bullets. Might have to start zooming in a bit more. Nope. Like, I think it's very powerful when it hits, and obviously you don't have any reloading. Ooh. Boom! That was cool. Okay. Oh, he dropped a gun. Please be something that is not rubbish. Oh, this is even worse. This is like the disc gun from Super Crate Box. No. Regrets. I have a few. I dropped my Hollow Seeker to pick up a weapon that's a pile of poo. Okay, collect parasites, repair efficiency. Don't, that's not too bad. There was a chest up here. It's not a weapon chest. It's a currency chest. Bedis says, I thought you'd look 50 pounds heavier. Oh god. I don't know if that's like a compliment or what. I don't know. Okay, go. That did nothing. I guess I can just hold this down at this enemy because he's so close. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Oh, let's use this. This is more fun. From the Attic says, fully upgraded Hollow Seeker is by far my favourite as well. Yeah, it's just the one that just completely wrecks enemies. And I used it on the final boss and made light work of it. Okay, so let's just like set up a bit of a... Yeah, now we're talking. But we're just like making a sort of zap field. I just have to hit enemies once now. If he walks over there, he might just get completely zapped. Yeah, look, he's just dying. He's dying. Oh god, he's not dying enough. Okay, so I unlocked a permanent weapon tray unlocked. So that's a little bit like a, you know, over time the game gets easier because you're unlocking these permanent slots for things. But yeah, I feel like yes, it is a case of like you can just kind of, the game gets easier over time, which is something I'm just not crazy about in roguelikes. But it's not a huge take on it. It's not, you know, Rogue Legacy level. Okay, suffer damage when using keys. I'm gonna cleanse that one. I've got a lot of ether. So you can cleanse a thing where you use your permanent currency of ether to get rid of the malignancy on it. Look at this thing. No. So I remember I got to the third biome, right? I'd beaten the boss of the second biome, which is what we're on now. We're on the second biome. I got to the third biome, and I was like, this is, you know, sweet. And then I got this rocket launcher, and I'm like, oh my god. And then it was rubbish, and I completely died immediately. This turns your parasites into Uberlites, but I don't want to do that. I need to find a parasite. Okay, let's kind of move on with our lives. Where am I? Okay, so there's a side room over here we can pop into. Let's answer some questions. Is my mic muted? No, I don't know. Oh, my mic keeps muting. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's not like the worst ever. Oh, this is kind of cool. Emergency. Okay. Let's move on and see if we can go to the... So, XA says, what's the meter below your health? So my health bar is the green one, and below that is my proficiency level, which is the power of all future guns I will find. So that's quite an interesting thing. That is something that stops you from... that does encourage you to use different guns, is that my gun that I'm using now will never get any more powerful other than those permanent traits I unlock. But future guns will be more powerful. So it kind of encourages you to pick something new up because you're like, well, I don't love the idea of this new gun, but it's more powerful than the one I've got. So that's kind of a cool system. And it also gives you another stat to like be trying to maximize. Okay. Oh, there's just so many side rooms. Got a key. And this is a locked chest. This is like some cipher thing. Ow. Oh yeah, I've got a thing that hurts me if I use keys. Proves chance of finding salvage on hostiles. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Here we go. So this heals me. Handy. Very handy. Oh, that also... Okay, it's pretty cool, this weapon, actually. I'm pleased that I decided to use a different weapon. I decided that it was just boring if I was going to use the same weapon all the time on stream, even if it was at the risk of my health. So I'm just going to put down a lot of things here, and then if I hit him in the face... I don't like know fully how to use it the best possible way. So a thing to remember is that because I've got adrenaline right now... Oh crap, not anymore. I was healing every time I hit him, but not anymore. There is quite a cool thing of weapons that do damage when you're not even there. Oh crap, okay, I didn't realise I had too many malfunctions. I lost a key there. Are there any alternate costumes or suits? As far as I know, no, there's none of that. And someone asked, is this game hard? It can be, yeah. I mean, it took me like 30 hours to finish this game. I don't want that. Though that's kind of, I think that's a bit on the long side. People have done it like 20, 25. I kind of suck. Okay, let's just make a sort of... Oops. I don't really know the best way to use this gun. Am I just supposed to just sort of put it... Oh, that guy just dropped a lot of... Oops, ouch. Because like that guy just died while I was just running around like an idiot. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, there is something to be said for weapons that do damage even when you're not doing anything. It's like passive income. It's the best type. I need to perform some melee kills. And I need to get a parasite. Right, let's go. I say let's fight the boss. How's my schedule? Am I a busy man? I mean, this GMTK is my full-time job. I work on it every day. Just trying to make videos, but they just take a long time these days. Don't know why. Just taking longer than they used to. But that's all good. No, don't worry about that. Right, let's go fight the boss. Let's go fight a boss. I don't care. I'm either gonna die. So I could just skip over there to go to the next area. Because so basically you'd come here the first time and you can't get over there because it's too far. Then you kill the boss and you've got the grapple hook and now you can go over there. But I'm gonna go back. I thought I'd screwed myself then, I thought I can get back. Okay. Just shoot over here. That's funny. Normally you wouldn't come this way to the boss. Okay, and here we go. And so they always give you this crappy gun. I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm not sure about my chances with this gun. Maybe that's why they give you that crappy gun, because not every gun is suitable for the boss. But I'm doing damage while I'm doing quite a fair bit of damage, to be honest. So just the more pylons I put down, the more damage I do. Like, that is chewing its health bar. Maybe I was wrong about this gun. It's pretty sweet. Like, that just did the full first phase very quickly. Okay, now he's going to do like a... Oh, no. I thought he was going to do something else. Oh, right, he doesn't actually have a health bar yet. So the bosses kind of remind me of... I mean, obviously... kind of Dark Souls, but also Fury. Let's go do a Ridley now. Oh, crap. Where are you? So it's one of those things that, like, once you learn the patterns, it's not too bad. So I know I've got to do that, and I've got to do that, and... Oh, not that. You can sort of learn the patterns. Oh. Missed the reload, Yeesh. Doing less damage this time. Missed the reload, missed the reload. Where are you? Where are you? That's a bad time. Okay, 2 health bars down. Not bad, not bad. Let's go. Okay, shoot, 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 shoot. So I don't even have to really hit him, I just gotta shoot near him, and that'll create pylons. I think he's like getting himself a big sword. Hey, hey, hey! Oh. Ouch. Okay, how about I throw on this damage siphon? Oh, that is because he's taking damage. That's just repairing my health constantly. Oh. Don't fully know how to... Oh, crap. Zap. Ouch. Let's give myself some slow-mo. Oh, missed it. I think we've done this. I think we're good to go. Get rid of those malfunctions, why not? Just in the middle of the battle. There we go. So that's the boss dead. Not the last boss, second boss. Nice little thing. There we go. Right, I guess I think I don't want to show the third biome unnecessarily. I think I'd probably finish this game at this point. I feel very overpowered. So I think it's going to take some time to let's just have something nice on screen. Just answer a few questions before I go. But thank you very much for joining me. It's going to be like a 2-hour stream at this point. Someone says, this Metroid Prime 4. Well, it definitely does have some Metroid-y feelings to it, in that it's got this, alien planet. You're scanning stuff. You're finding story through sort of environment and things like that. Ethan says, I don't like the electric alt fire. It's tough to use on bosses. Yeah, it can be. You've got to get very close. It's like a big ass shotgun. It's kind of cool. Ghoul says, you make it look easy. Yes, I mean, it's one of those things of, I think all roguelikes have this where the first time you play it's real hard. You go back there again. You're like, that was so easy. Why did that ever give me trouble? You just get better at learning the patterns. But I definitely feel like if you spend a lot of time finding items and stuff, you will just inevitably have an easier time because you just get more and more powerful. I mean, if I look at my stats in this game, no, wrong button. Look at my stats in this game. I've got basically over 200% health, so double the health I started with. Plus 8% weapon damage, plus 45% protection, so over almost 50% more defense than before. I repair a lot more, and I've had these stats like enormous towards the end of the game, and it just keeps going and going. And look at all these artifacts. I mean, more weapon damage for ammo, a better dash, more weapon damage per adrenaline level. My protection goes up the more ether I have. You've got so many artifacts. I mean, there is a limit, a 15 limit, but yeah. Anyway, Limely says, how's Unity going and how old are you? I am 32, I think, and Unity's going pretty well. I mean, I learnt a lot, but I just kind of stopped making stuff for a while. I need to go back to it. I think my idea is maybe in June, when everyone's doing the game jam, I'll just take some time to do some game stuff myself, not jam stuff. But there you go. What's your biggest video game related hot take? Hot take, I don't know. I don't want to get cancelled for saying something that people will be mad at. JRPGs are like bad games. I don't know. Devin Austin says, so my friend has a theory, Mark Brown and Adam Millard are the same person. Is that true? Well, his videos are very similar to mine, but no, we're not the same person. He's actually a GMTK moderator in the Discord, and and for the game jam, which is very, very kind of him to lend his time for that. Ben Birch says, this is the first live stream I have caught after following your videos. Your content is incredible. I'm super glad your face matches your voice. Well, thank you very much for saying that. And I guess that thing. Ice Baby says he's 32. He looks single too. What makes someone look single other than not having a wedding ring? But I'm not married yet, but I'm not single. Game Dev Dave says the video on Downwell is by far my favourite. Oh, thank you. That was a fun one. That was an early one. That was when I was kind of really finding my feet in terms of like what is good game design, what is like elegant and stuff. I learned a lot from doing that one. It was inspired the first Game Jam theme for Downwell dual purpose design, so that was really fun. Razor Bikini says, hot take, roguelikes and roguelites are the same genre, should have one name. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it needs to be like separate genres. It's just kind of, I use it to kind of reference like how much, if there's like permanent progression, but even that you can have, there's a whole spectrum of it, right? From games where you get massive amounts of permanent progression like Rogue Legacy, to games where you have hardly any like Spelunky, to games where you got some like in Returnal. So even that I don't think is actually that useful. So I'd say, yeah, let's just call them all roguelikes and just, talk about what makes them different from each other. Favorite weapon in all of gaming, asks D Nitro. I really like the basic pistol from Dead Space, where it's got that like alt fire where you can swap the orientation of the bullets. Well, not bullets, but like sort of lines. So you're like shooting. You can be like, I want to shoot through an enemy's neck or through its arms, and you're like changing it from to this. That's a really cool weapon. It feels very good. 1 to 10 thoughts on Returnal, asks Cameron. I'd give it a good solid. I'll give it a good solid 7, but like using the whole scale, not like the sort of 7 is rubbish, and a good 7, maybe 7.5. Any game that you used to dislike but have come around on? That's an interesting question. A game I used to dislike but have come around on. I'm not really sure. I guess the closest would be, I've never been a big Halo fan. I've always kind of found them just not for me. I don't like the sort of campy feel of them. I don't like the sort of bullet spongy enemies. I've never found the combat as good as people say it is. I just find it kind of silly, but I really did enjoy ODST. I really liked the vibe to that game, and that was really cool. And I guess another one was Mass Effect, actually. When I first played Mass Effect, I played it like when it came out on Xbox 360, and I thought it was rubbish. I thought it was this rubbish Mass Effect, rubbish Gears of War clone with I just did not like it, and never played it again for many, many years, and then finally was like, okay, I'll give it another go, and actually, really, really, really enjoyed it, and especially Mass Effect 2. I think Mass Effect 2 is like a really like killer game, like one of the best. So I'm glad that I finally got to play that. Wabbit King says, are you planning to do more level design with the level designer video soon? Yes. Not well. I don't know about soon, but it's it'll be peppered in with other videos. As I was saying a bit earlier in the stream, it's a little bit bottlenecked by other people's schedules. So I've been talking to someone from a really cool game that I want to do a level design video for, but they are sorting out, talking to their bosses to make sure it's okay, and finding the right time to do it. And so it's kind of, I can't get on with it until those sort of conversations happen. But yeah, definitely. Caleb Sadler says, is the stream over? Did you finish playing Returnal? Yes, stream's over for now. I'm just going to answer a few questions just until, I don't know, for a little while. But I hope you got to see an idea of what the game was like. I didn't spoil very much. I showed you 1 boss and 2 biomes. I think it's really cool. I just think there are some slightly strange design decisions where the balance is a little bit off. I don't know. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Everyone's going to have a different one, but that was just, to me, my experience was it just didn't. There are things in it that kind of make it feel a little bit odd to play and could maybe use a bit of a tune-up, but we'll see. Jill Hines says, do you have a Discord? The GMTK Discord is available to anyone who is a patron. of GMTK, any dollar amount, any tier, you can be in the Discord. I'd really recommend it, actually. It's very cool. I'm not just saying that because I get money if you join, but because it's a very close-knit community. I've got thousands of patrons, but only a few people actually use the Discord, and they're really, people get really, involved in conversations, and it's just a cozy, nice place to talk to about game design and current events and everything else. Hey Mark, have a nice day, says Chow Pinchas. Thank you. It's actually evening now. I'm going to go to bed soon. There you go. Archie Warden says, you can interview any person, even the dead. Who would you choose? I guess it's got to be Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of Mario and Zelda. I mean, imagine if it just dropped on GMTK, like on the level, like, I don't know, the Zelda 1 map or a Super Mario Brothers level. It would be crazy. One day. I don't know, one day. Probably never. Razor Bikini says, the game isn't a total slam dunk, talking about Returnal, but it's unique and the stuff that works is great, which counts for a lot, I think. I agree with that. Long Henry says, I found Dead Cells to be really tedious. Any way to mitigate the repetitiveness of enemy combat? I guess that's just going to be a thing in roguelikes. I mean, Dead Cells has a lot of build variety. It's like this thing of you, play through one time, you're using one type of weapon, then you play through again using a bow and arrow. You've got crazy synergies, so it should feel slightly different. So like Hades is probably like one of the best examples for this of, you can play through with a sword, you can play through with a gun, you can play through with a shield, and they play through completely differently. They feel like, I don't know how many weapons there are in the game, like five or six like different games almost, and so they make fighting enemies more interesting. Is this a game that you're working on? No, this is a game that exists. It's called, let's just go to the homepage, you can see, it's called Returnal. It's a PS5 game from Housemarque. I did not make this game. I do not have that level of talent. I got to go in there, it's really loud. Advice for a first-time game jammer, asks Aaron. Well, I haven't made a game jam game myself, but I've talked to lots of people who have. I guess the thing people say is kind of take some time to think of an idea. Don't like rush into the first idea that you think of. Like, take a moment to, think of a few ideas, workshop them, think of a few more ideas, make sure you got something that's really good. Because there's no point spending loads of time on a game idea that just isn't that interesting. Why is my beard so hot? Well, thank you. It's a bit gingery. It's a bit long, actually. I need to shave it. What's your best roguelike game, asks Ahmed. My favourite is Spelunky. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Though it's one of those things of like, is it just kind of like inbuilt now that it's my favourite game, and do I need to like reconsider that? But I do. I mean, I never mind putting on Spelunky and playing it. Like, it has stood the test of time for me in a way that most games have not. In terms of roguelikes, I don't actually like a huge number of roguelikes. It's not like one of my favourite genres. I enjoy many games in the genre, like Slay the Spire is really good. But like some of the mainstays, like Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon, and Risk of Rain, like I haven't really gotten into. I wasn't a huge fan of Hades, so Spelunky is my boy. Lewis Hugh Jones says, what's more important, enemy variety or build variety? That's an interesting question. I don't really know the answer to that off the top of my head. I mean, it kind of depends on things. Like, build variety is very important in a roguelike because you're constantly starting again from scratch, and so you don't want it to be like, imagine if you played a roguelike and then every time you died you went back to your pistol and like, right, now I've got to get the assault rifle, now I've got to get the shotgun, now I've got to get this. It's like, you want it to be very different. Whereas in something like Doom, it doesn't really matter because you've got that nice difficulty curve throughout the entire game. And then in Doom, it's more about enemy variety is really important, and it can be more thoughtfully put together what enemies are going to be in each room. I don't know. It's a good question. Do you have any book recommendations for game design and storytelling? Storytelling is a good question. Hold on a second. This is a book. Look. So someone sent me this book, and so I got it for free, but I still kind of recommend it. It might be mirrored. It's called Interactive Stories and Video Game Art by Chris Solarsky, and I feel like, to be honest, okay, so one of the things I don't like about a lot of game design books is that they can be quite academic in that they don't have a lot of examples of games. Like, it's very much just like, let's talk about health in a very general sense. And so hopefully if you like Game Maker's Toolkit, that you know that one of the things that happens a lot is, well, every single episode all the time is I'm using examples from games. I'm going like, this is how Dark Souls does it, and this is how Far Cry does it, and this is how Returnal does it. And so this book is nice because it's full of sort of screenshots and recommendations of examples from games that you've actually played. It'd be like Uncharted, Stanley Parable, Resident Evil and stuff. So I don't know. It's just, it was in my cupboard. It's cool. Slam Bam Action Man asks, will Mark become a professional sounds effect voice actor? No. What? I don't know what's going on. Long Henry says, could you explain your reasoning behind the lack of interest in the roguelite genre? For me, games for me, I really like something that I can finish. Like, I sink my teeth into a chunk of content and I work through it, and there's probably a nice little story, and then I kind of finish it. And roguelikes aren't so much focused on that. There's a lot of repeating content, and there's a lot of kind of banging your head against walls. I like to just kind of make a bit of progress. So I prefer games that are more kind of, you move through it as just one big thing. That's not to say I don't like playing roguelikes. There's a lot I really enjoy. I really like just the getting more skillful. I guess the other thing is there's a lot of roguelikes now that have that kind of permanent progression that feels kind of grindy, and I really just like grinding games. What is more important, amazing gameplay or stunning visuals? Well, I mean, it's got to be gameplay. It's got to be the most important thing. But that's not to say that visuals aren't important. They help sell a game. They help add like atmosphere and world building, and they also can kind of convey information about like, can sort of infer information based on things you've seen in the real world. So, visuals can kind of be I've completely lost my train of thought. A shortcut for things. I don't know. A few more questions. Are you going to talk about Subnautica at some point? I think I'm going to give that game a try. I've never played a huge amount of Subnautica. I've tried it a fair bit. It didn't grab me, but I know it's very interesting. I've used it a number of times in videos as examples of things. The GDC talk from the Subnautica guys are really interesting and full of great design stuff. But I guess it's a game. I've got it free on the PS5 actually for, I think I've actually got it installed from that play at home thing. It's weird, you got Subnautica and Abzu, and they're both kind of like swimming games. So I've got a free PS5 upgrade, so I guess I should play that because I got that PS5, so yeah, I will give it a go. Okay, I'm going to answer 4 more questions. What was the book I was showing? This isn't the question, I'm just going to... This is Interactive Stories and Video Game Art by Chris Solarsky. That's pretty good. Anyway, 4 questions. Number 1. Did you go to college for game design? Nope, I have no experience of game design whatsoever. But the nice thing is that many colleges show my videos like in the curriculum, so I don't need to go to school because I teach the schools, and I have gone to schools and done teaching and stuff. So I've skipped it. I don't need to do it. It's fine. Question number 3 Slam Bam. Just trying to see if there's any interesting questions. Sorry. Most of these questions are weird. And most of them don't make any sense. So I'm just going to try and find one that actually does. What do you think about serious games? Okay, that's an interesting question, because I think video games have a really unique ability to touch on subjects that in a way that helps you understand what it actually feels like to be in them. So an example would be Papers, Please, which I think has a really good... wow, my face is really blown out. It shows you what it's like to be corrupted through bureaucracy, right? The game puts you in a situation where to help out your family, you need to bend the rules and you need to screw people over. And it, in a way, more so than a film or a book, you're living it and you're making those decisions yourself, and you're going, wow, even my morals are having to be bent because of this game. And so that shows you in a really interesting way. I played a game once that showed you how gerrymandering works, the idea in politics where it can kind of split up a state or whatever to have the votes go a certain way. And it was like a puzzle game. You had to split the state up in a way that worked for your political party, and just showing that in a game where you get hands-on experience is really good. So I think for anything where there's kind of like systems, and everything in the world is made up of systems, whether it's things like police or the justice system or whatever. Showing you things through systems and then letting it happen to you is very powerful. So I think serious games are definitely a subject that is interesting. M. Ooze says, how do you write your scripts? I type them on a keyboard. But the main thing is I'm a big proponent of what a technique I call the shitty draft, which is you write out the whole script in just this very shitty way of just absolute stream of consciousness, just write down everything I can think about the subject, and worry about it later, because writing is all about rewriting, and so you just kind of want to get some stuff down that then you can then take those chunks and those bricks and then rearrange them in different ways and rewrite bits, but until you've kind of got that baseline to work with, you're screwed. So you've got to have that shitty draft. Okay, 2 more questions. Have you thought about a different game jam format that goes outside of the classic theme plus time limit form? Yes and no. I mean, I think because there's so many people who join the jam that I don't want to have some weird thing that is kind of niche and only a few people are into. I think it's fine that for the the big boys of the game jam world, the Lugendares and the GMTK jam and stuff, are just kind of a standard jam. And then so if you want to get into something weird like a Game Boy D-Make jam, or you want to have a jam that takes place over a month or whatever, there are smaller niche jams for that. So I think for the most part I'm going to keep GMTK jam standard. The one thing I do worry about is that asking people to work for 48 hours does mean that people are going to not sleep. And there is a sort of crunch-esque sort of feeling going on there that I don't like, and I don't really know how to fix. I don't know if adding more time would even help. I'm going to make that light a little bit less lighty. So I think that's way too dark, whatever. That's something I'm always thinking about. How can I avoid crunch? Anyway, one more question, because I've forgotten how many I'm doing. How do you pick subjects? That's a good question. Do you feel it's harder to come up with new ideas to talk about? That's 2 questions in one, but they're very good. How do I pick subjects? It's almost always based on things that I am playing or thinking about or tweeting about. I'll just be thinking about game design stuff in general and go, this could be a video. And it's usually a question that I have that I don't have an answer to and I want an answer to and I'm curious about. So it might be something like, why does Celeste feel so good to play? Like, I'm playing this platform, Celeste, it feels amazing. How did they do this? And now I'm going to go talk to the developers. Or how do they make Hitman levels? Or should Dark Souls have an easy... I do, because there's been quite a few since I made the video. But there are topics that every time I do a topic, I've now kind of made it harder to do that again. And it's also just like a finite number of games that I am personally interested in. Like, you're not going to see videos about like fighting games too much on the channels because it's just not a genre I know. And so it's be useless in me making a video. Oh, my mic's muted again. Sorry. Right, this is another crappy mic. I'm going to try and sort out my microphone for next time. I love you all very much. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in a stream in the future.